This podcast is produced by the Deer Tribe Métis Medicine Society. Copyright DTMMS, all rights reserved. Materials may not be used without written permission.
The Sweet Medicine SunDance Path is a mystery school that offers shamanic knowledge and practices for anyone seeking personal growth, spiritual awakening, and evolution through interconnectedness. Today, the wheels and keys, the teachings, practices, and ceremonies are available at workshops, events, and ceremonial gatherings in various countries around the planet. Let's continue our conversation with Janneke Koole, a Sweet Medicine SunDance leader and teacher. I've introduced myself as an apprentice. I know that you are an apprentice to this path. What is an apprenticeship on this path? I mean, I know that in other mystery schools, apprenticeship is very usual, but sometimes they can be a little bit different. So I just wondered if you could tell us a little bit about apprenticeship on this path.
Yeah, there's definitely many different ways of apprenticing, but for us, the simple answer to what is an apprentice is that it is someone who has acknowledged and knows that they are a seeker, that they desire to know themselves, life, spirit, and to grow. And so when a spirit becomes a seeker, and an individual knows that, they will begin looking. They will look until they find some way. Our apprenticeship is actually with Great Spirit. And once that spiritual connection is made, then one looks for a path.
And apprenticeship is one way to go, but not everyone needs to be an apprentice in order to be able to take part in ceremonies or to learn the wheels and keys.
It's true. Definitely true. And we have many, many options. You know, we have small groups that gather in local areas that allow the individual to gather with those who are also interested in the path. We have what is called the Earth Lodge in Germany, in Italy, and Australia, and soon in America here, where it's an intergenerational family camp, basically, that meets once a year for a whole week. And anyone is welcome, and the children get to learn and play. The teens get to do rites of passage. All people at Earth Lodge are welcome to take their rites of passage, their next step in their maturational everyday life experience. And then the other is places where there are groups that meet for sweet medicine study will often have invitations for monthly purification lodges, drum circles. There's an aspect of the organization called Friends of the Deer Tribe that does online Zoom offerings of the teachings. Many, many ways to come and meet, special workshops, lots of places to come.
So the Sweet Medicine SunDance Path has actually spread across the planet. It's in pretty much every continent now, as far as I know. And there are, yes, the Earth Lodges, there are the Red Lodge programs, and then there are lodges and study groups in many, many places. And all of these are listed on the Deer Tribe website.
Right.
Coming up next, more about the Sweet Medicine SunDance Path with Janneke Koole.
As human beings, we find ourselves walking upon the earth with the opportunity to live, experience, grow, and evolve, and every stage of our life brings gifts and challenges. Each time we undergo a transition, we can make it with awareness and in beauty, in connection with spirit and in harmony with nature, our greatest teacher. As human beings, we have the right to celebrate life, to seal change, and to honor the earth that continuously nourishes us. This is what happens at the Earth Lodge.
I do enjoy the ceremonies and all the teachings. I'm really looking forward to the healing that I can do inside my own self, and also the community is amazing.
I'm looking forward to learning new things, finding out about myself. I'm looking forward to evolving.
The spiritual connection to Great Spirit and to all things magical. These are the things that are most important to me right now.
Welcome back to our conversation with Janneke Koole. This sometimes gets a little bit confusing with people wondering what is DTMMS and what are the Sweet Medicine SunDance Path? Are they two different things? What's the relationship between them?
DTMMS, Deer Tribe Métis Medicine Society, is the nonprofit organization, and it's like the home of the path. It is an organization that is mandated to preserve the knowledge, to provide for the dissemination, to provide resources, and keep growing or developing the offerings of sweet medicine. Sweet Medicine SunDance is the spiritual path. It has a what we call a gateway ceremonial process, a step-by-step process in spiritual development, as well as programs that are open for all. It provides for personal healing and for ways in which an individual can chart their own course in life. And so Sweet Medicine is the spiritual path, has an annual renewal ceremony, has multiple ways for people to be involved. The Deer Tribe is the organization that makes sure the path will continue.
So we have lodges all over the globe. We have lineage programs, we have Earth Lodge, there are study groups. Can you walk us through which each of these different pieces are within the tribe?
Yeah, one of the threads within our path is very similar to how we began, that we learn best by teaching or sharing. Yeah, so leadership is a theme in how we actually do our personal self-growth and development. And so study group leaders study groups are like little campfires. They're local, small group gatherings in a home that allow an apprentice to already begin to share the knowledge that they have learned and to create ways in which the impact of the joy and the healing and the learning can be shared with those who they invite into their home. Often what will happen is that group becomes more steady, more stable, and it becomes an ongoing study center or gathering. And this becomes then what we call a lodge with a lodge leader. This person is usually further along in their own process and able to then guide a student, an apprentice, through their steps inside the first gateways of our unfolding of our spiritual path. And so a lodge is more ongoing. They will have monthly gatherings. They will have purification lodges. They will have ceremonial week-long events. And so they're able to nourish and support the students and apprentices along their way. In addition, we would have individuals who have done extensive training who become qualified teachers, and these teachers can then go anywhere on the planet. So they go where they are called, they go where they or where there is interest, where there's study groups who say, yeah, but we want more. And so a qualified teacher will come. And those are workshops that are done around all aspects, whether they are for personal healing, whether they are for spiritual sexuality, whether they are about being able to apply how to be a better parent. And often this is what creates communities in the different arenas. And those communities will then open the door for the wider collective, wider seekers through Earth Lodges, more workshops, and ways to invite people to engage in the ceremonial aspects. The deer tribe itself is responsible for maintaining the preservation and dissemination. And so there are some lineage programs that have a set curriculum that provides for those who are definite in their forward movement to make sure that all aspects of the knowledge has been integrated. So those we would call lineage programs. So it's a wide range.
A very wide range, something for everyone.
Mm.
We also have the title of which you are one of them, the Hereditary Lineage Group, a Hereditary Lineage Leader. What is that?
So, where our path was given to us, shared by Thunder Strikes. And when there came a certain point when his leadership required more than one person to actualize and implement and so on. And so there are 6 of us who at around that in varying times, but basically now have been stable for the last 15, 20 more years, that we have dedicated that it is our life's mission to make sure that this path continues for the next generations. So that's why it's called Hereditary Lineage Leaders. That's our dedication.
Stay tuned for more with Janneke Koole on the Sweet Medicine SunDance Path.
Healing for me is a lifelong process, and inside of this particular program, there are many very, what would I call it, pragmatic and also magical approaches to create healing inside of oneself. It's critical that each one of us as a human being find what is going to feed us, what is going to support us in our own healing and growing.
Welcome back to our conversation with Janneke Koole. So, someone's watching this video for the first time and they've come across our conversation. What would you say to them if their interest was piqued?
Well, if they have listened so far and they get to this point, I would probably suggest that they go out into nature, that they take themselves, their children, or by themselves and find a place where they can be safe to just walk and be, and that they can begin to just listen to the earth, to feel the earth under their feet, to smell the air as it changes. Because, when you spend time in nature, you become more natural. And it is in our naturalness that spirit welcomes us the easiest. When we're busy, spirit might be still welcoming us, and in fact is, but we don't necessarily recognize it. And so to just spend time in nature, to listen to the wind, to be able to observe the stars and Sister Moon as she goes through her phases, any and all ways to really be calmly present in nature, to allow the stresses and the overwhelming inundation of impulses and news to be just quiet for a little while. I would say that that is the most important invitation that we can put out, because from there, Spirit will guide. And from there, the individual will find their way, because we put out a request to Spirit. Spirit always provides.
Thank you, Janneke. I've really enjoyed doing this interview with you, and look forward to having further conversations with you and with other leaders. Thank you very much for joining us. For more information about DTMMS and the Sweet Medicine SunDance Path, go to our website at dtmms.org. You'll see a calendar of events and our international offerings. You can also email dtmms@dtmms.org to answer any questions. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio. Thank you for tuning in to DTMMS TV. If you liked what you heard, then thumbs up and share, please.